Okay, let's go to athletics and talk about Nigeria's Toby Amushon. Hyena, another big win, what we told you earlier. She's going to be in Düsseldorf, over 60 meters over the weekend. We saw what she did in Kajura, clocking a new personal best of 7.84 seconds. Cecilia told us about that a while ago. She will go again for a second successive 60 meters hurdles title, and hopefully she gets it done. The time that she set in Kajura brings her 0.02 seconds close to the African record set by our compatriot Gloria Alozie in 1999, and it's also the second fastest time in the world
this year.
So, I mean, we have to underline that, and she was very close at the World Championships, very, very close to getting to medal range, and the way she's running, I mean, I won't put it past her. She's in that zone. Absolutely. Bearing injuries, bearing, you know, some self-destruct moves that we always take in this part of the world. Bearing all of that, she's a medal prospect.
Absolutely, she's a medal prospect at the Olympics, and that's what everyone is looking forward to. We need to go on a break now. We'll come back. We'll be talking football, and also Aruna Kodro is still there. Welcome back. It's a full house. We have, two journalists in the house, one international journalist, and the other one is based in Nigeria. Omar Akatugba, it's been like, how many years? 10, 15 years, 20 years? Okay, I'll look at you. Good morning, it's good to have you.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me. Very excited to be on this platform this morning.
And Daniel Obugo, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me as well.
Okay, let's get started. And of course, it's all about Ighalo the weekend. Friday night, all of us were actually waiting for that deal to come through. We're all waiting, anxiously anticipating, because we said some people actually said, Yemi was one of the doubters and said, come on, it's not going to happen. Maybe this is just a rumor, one of those, silly seasons as it's called and all that. But at the end of the day, it came through because, as everyone is saying, Ighalo had nothing to lose. China, because of the coronavirus, they're on break and all that for a long time. So some of these players need to play football, and Man United came calling. Of course, who will refuse Manchester United? But then the talk has been, why go for him? Is he a real fit? What's going to happen? I mean, so many talks, starting from the coach and the former players of United, the DNA guys and all of them, talking about how he's going to fit into that club. What do you think, before we get to hear quotes from these guys that have been talking about him?
Well, in football, there are no guarantees. It's difficult to sit here and say Ighalo will do a fantastic job at United, but it's also difficult to say he wouldn't. Jude Ighalo is a proven striker. His name is synonymous with goals. He scored a lot of goals in China where even players like Tevez couldn't shine. People say the Chinese league is not one of the best. Of course, not one of the best in the world, but it's a tough league to play in because when you come from Europe, there's so much expectations on you. You are like the messiah of any team. And Ighalo rose to the occasion, scored so many goals in China. But some persons also argue that it's not, it's not been tested. In the last 2 years, the period where he's played in China, and United were looking for a warm body, someone who can hit the ground running from the get-go. And they feel that Ighalo is not that kind of a player. So it remains to be seen if Jude Ighalo can prove his doubters wrong. But when you look at the fact on the ground, Ighalo, top scorer at the Nations Cup, top scorer in the qualifiers, 16 goals in 2015, 2016 at Watford. He has the Premiership experience. He has the physical characteristics. He has the experience. And then I think that Ighalo is framed to do well at United. But my own worry is that Ighalo is joining a team that is not in good shape. United is in the worst form they can ever be. Yeah. And now they have brought in Ighalo to create some kind of magic. It's going to be a difficult task, in my opinion. But I think he's capable.
All right. I like what I've heard so far. Okay. All right. Daniel, let me get your thoughts. It's probably first time you're here since the Ighalo move. I was one of the doubters, like she said. But your immediate thoughts. You think he'll hit the ground running, or you think the slump of United is going to affect him? Although it's hard for us to sit here and say what's going to happen, but I just want to get your thoughts.
It can come from both ways, just as Omar said. There are no guarantees.
All right.
But for me, I think Ighalo is an upgrade. This is what Manchester United needs now. They have all the players. They have that ingredient, but who's going to, make it compact, or who's going to complete it?
All right.
You have Greenwood and the likes, but they keep doing all this passing and no penetration, nobody's hitting that goal. You know, so I think for now, it's the person they need for now. But on the long term, I don't think so. So I just feel for now, let's see how it goes. But for me, I think it's a good one for United and also a good one for Ighalo.
Okay.
Now.
All right. Okay, let's get to just take some quotes out of the way coming from some of these people who are in support and some who are kind of doubting if it's going to fit in. Former Watford coach Kike Sanchez Flores has this to say. It says mainly, okay, the problem is how they train in China. It's not the same as in England. Is he really ready for first-team matches in the Premier League? Because the physical difference is so big. The good thing is he knows his body well. I mean, that's coming from someone, a former coach. He said he works hard on injury prevention and he's always working after training. So his work ethics is really good. And I think that's what United went for, because they only keep talking about work ethics, character, attitude and all that.
Hunger,
when you have all
desire.
that hunger, desire,
Exactly.
and Nigerian Ighalo actually fits the bill.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that's why those talking about United DNA, I think he's got it, because that's what they talked about, character, attitude, and fighting spirit. Ighalo, I mean, that's a pass.
Talking about the DNA, like you said, he's got it. Ighalo's childhood dream was to play for United.
Yes.
So the DNA may have been there from way back. Even though he hadn't played for, or he hasn't played for Manchester United. But I think that for Ighalo it's a fantastic opportunity, to show that he can play at the very top. Now he would have the chance to play in the Europa Cup, and if United gets to qualify for the Champions League, it will also be a big chance for him. But it's a 6-month deal without an option to buy. But that can change. It depends on how he performs. If Ighalo gets the goals coming, the club can look at it and say, hey, why not give him a long-term deal, maybe a 1-year deal, to see what he can bring to the table.
Okay.
Why you guys talk about the DNA? I'm beginning to ask myself. So Lukaku didn't have that DNA.
Lukaku wanted to leave. It wasn't about United to keep him. He says he wanted to go. He told them as early as March. So it wasn't about the club or anything.
The Lukaku story
He wanted to leave.
It's a case of the more you look,
The less
the
less you see. So let's leave it, right?
It's complicated.
It's very
All right,
complicated.
Let's take more quotes. A lot of people reacting differently to Odion Ighalo's move. Let's listen to, let's read a quote taken from LJ Goodonson, former Chelsea forward. This is what he has to say. He says, look, it comes back to the time of the season of this transfer as well. I don't think any of the best strikers are available. That's what he says. He says, I don't think any of the best strikers are eager to join United anymore. That's what the Chelsea legend is saying. You agree with?
I do agree, because when you look at it, that is the preferred option or the only option right now. So them going for Ighalo, I think he says it all. But again, what Flores said at first, that was the same thing Manchester United, will I say great, Ferdinand too talked about that. The season, his work ethic and the likes, that he doesn't think he's going to hit it running. But again, this is someone who has played for Udinese in the Italian league. This is someone who has played in the Chinese league as well. So I think, let's just see how it goes. Like Omar said, there are no guarantees. But he might just hit it running, and United might say, okay, Ighalo and Rashford, you spare our attack.
Just to add to...
on that, no striker wants to join United, because some names were running around. Edison Cavani, we know. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, just to take it up from that point, from Edison Cavani to Ireland, and then to Ings, to Joshua King, they had no option, and time was running out. Let's just sum it all up. It was a panic buy. Because in truth, when you look at Ighalo's profile, it's not Manchester United standard. Forgive me, Jude, if you're watching. It's my friend. But sometimes you have to say it the way it is. If you look at his profile, you would not have expected him to sign for United. Just as he was dumbfounded, a lot of big names in the world of football were shocked. And that is exactly what, the makeup, that's the makeup of this deal. Okay. So, but for Ighalo, I think that he's the biggest winner in all of this. He has a couple of properties in Manchester.
Of course.
His kids were schooling in Manchester. They moved to London when they moved to China. So it's like coming back to base.
Absolutely.
And coming back to base to play for the biggest club in England and arguably in the world. What a dream. That's why it is difficult to argue against his earlier tweet that favor is much more important than labor.
Absolutely. I buy that also. Let's take this quote. I mean, before you come in here, let's take this quote coming from former Chelsea player Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank also. He's been talking about it. I mean, he's the guy that was really shocked and surprised. And this is what he had to say after that. He says he must be the luckiest man going to China, being away from Europe, nobody seeing him for 2.5 years since he was at Watford, and then getting a loan move at United. Wow, that doesn't happen. I mean, he's surprised at that. But then if you take a look at the whole stats, as you mentioned and all that, if you can take a look at Ighalo, the goals he has scored. Yeah. I mean, he's a fantastic goal scorer. You can't take that away from him. If you take a look at that stat, he has scored 46 goals across 3 seasons in China. How many people they can even do that? 39 goals in 100 games for Watford and 16 goals in 37 caps for Nigeria. And the clubs he has played for so far, from Prime Julius Berger FC in Nigeria, straight to Oslo in 2010. Udinese, you mentioned that, Granada, Italy, Watford, and of course, he went to China before he went to Shanghai Shenhua. That's the current club right now he's playing for. Now, if you look at this stat, I mean, this is a goal poacher any day, anytime.
Yes, and again, this same scenario happened like 2 years ago, last season, to replace Suarez. He said no. And they came, the same scenario happened again, you know, to replace the England striker, that's Harry Kane. He said no, but this one...
Was that confirmed? I mean,
yes.
Omar, it wasn't really confirmed. I mean, it wasn't as...
But
it was all
the
like...
Suarez only came out in an interview and said he thought of it, that if he should go, once Suarez is fit, he's going to go back to the bench. And again, he said it, that if he goes to Tottenham, once Harry Kane is fit, he's going to go back to the bench.
Because it was a stopgap measure.
Exactly, it was a stopgap measure.
Okay, now, United deal is also a stopgap measure. What's the difference between the one at Suarez, Barcelona, and of course, Tottenham? What's the difference?
This is different. The guys are not firing on all cylinders.
You know,
we are talking about Martial, we're talking about Rashford.
Is it because of that dream? Is it because of that dream that he says, I mean, he always wanted United?
But I think we can all agree on
something. Is it because of that? Forget the fact that, I mean, he doesn't want a stopgap measure, because that's what he's having at United right now.
To heart what she said, I'm not speaking as a Nigerian.
Yes.
I think if you compare what United have currently, he can play.
Definitely.
Absolutely. See,
you
at
can't compare
Barcelona,
Ighalo to Lingard.
You see,
for me.
And all those other guys.
I mean...
No, Ighalo is... Lingard is not a striker. Can we talk about that player that scored goals?
The difference between the situation right now and that at Barcelona was, or is, at Barcelona, they were looking for a striker not to play immediately. Someone to
bring that gap for
to help them create strength in depth.
Okay.
That's why, because they couldn't get Jude, they went for KP Boateng. Yeah. KP didn't play.
He didn't play. Yeah.
So Ighalo knew that he wasn't going to play at Barcelona, and he wasn't going to earn as much as he was earning in China. So it was not going to be a good move for him. But for United, we've not talked about the coronavirus. Everyone wants to leave China at this point. And you get the chance to leave China for Manchester United.
You take it.
You grab it.
You grab it. And the age is also a factor.
It's just 30. Come on.
It's not just 30. It's 30.
He's 30.
When you say just, it looks like he's young.
Because I've seen players 35 and 37
not a
scoring goals.
A Nigerian player at 30.
Even for the lifespan of a striker at 30, you have to make your best move.
Exactly.
Because if you don't,
because
you're behind the clock somehow.
That's almost the time where you start to wind down.
Okay.
And winding down at United, I have to change my name to Ighalo right now.
That's a fantastic one. But to just wrap this up on Odion Ighalo, I mean, if we want to, what will be a success factor for him right now? Because everyone is saying he needs 1 month. He has started training. He's going to be training on his own for like 1 week and all that. The good thing is there's the winter break. I mean, United will not be in action like till 16th or thereabouts, or 17th of this month against Chelsea, right? So he has a long time to actually, you know,
they're going to
train. They're going to Spain for the winter break. And so when they come back, so he will be ready to come in.
Physically,
so what will be kind of a success for him?
Your benchmark, 6 months, how many goals or performance you think?
In China, I think he scored 2 goals per game, or a goal ratio.
The ratio of one goal per game.
1 goal per game. What will be my benchmark for Ighalo in 6 months? That's half of a season. Will be 7 goals.
Oh, okay.
7 goals.
You'll be fine with that?
I'll be fine with that. And I'm sure United will be fine with that as well, with what they're going through right now. Rashford is injured.
Yeah.
They've got Greenwood, they've got Martial
has forgotten his scoring
exactly.
boots
So
somewhere.
Ighalo is coming to lead the line. And thank God they've got the guy from Portugal, Bruno Fernandes, who is going to do who is expected to do a good job of helping Ighalo to
I like
just
the way
put
you
the ball at the back of the net.
clarify that. Expected.
It's expected because,
It
like
might not happen.
I've always said,
It might not happen.
there are no guarantees in football. We've seen so many examples. Felipe Coutinho comes to mind.
Yeah.
He left Liverpool to Barcelona. We said, he was going to blow everyone out of the water.
Struggle.
He failed in flying colours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. All right, let's leave Ighalo and talk about other Nigerians. Some other players made moves. Let me start with Omar and talk about Leon Balogun. He's received a lot of flack recently. A lot of, why are you staying on the bench? I mean, but he's made a move to Wigan, and obviously because he wants to play.
Yeah.
But your thoughts about that move first?
Well, they say when the preferred is not available, the available becomes the preferred.
Preferable.
Leon Balogun had no choice. Things didn't go well at Brighton. Thank you very much. And I wasn't surprised. The EPL is on a different level. Leon Balogun, I've had several conversations with him. He's always told me his dream was always to play in England. So to have moved to Bournemouth, Brighton, forgive me. He achieved a lifelong dream of playing in English football. Unfortunately, that dream ended up a nightmare. Now he's gone a step, downward to basically rediscover his form, which is a good one for him. In the Championship, he's very competitive, we know. Much more competitive than many top leagues in Europe. So he will be able to bring himself back to top-flight football and maybe get the recall to the Super Eagles and then take it from there. But if you look at Leon Balogun's career generally, it's been very tough. Leon Balogun's first deal was to Mainz. All his life he's gone on loan. From Hanover 96 to Werder Bremen, he's been going on loan. So things have generally not been so easy for him. But the good thing about him is he's kept a very positive, attitude. He's a great guy, great personality, and I wish him the best at Wigan Athletic.
All right, another person to talk about. I don't know if you have any thoughts on Balogun.
For me, I think he should have gone back to Germany.
Okay.
I think that's where he gets his mojo. Going to Wigan,
just to support
I was expecting him to play, and he was still on the bench.
I think that's a valid point.
Just to support you.
Well, it's just his first. He's just joined.
You know what?
So.
From the part of Nigeria where I come from, they'll say, look, if you don't know where you're going, go back to where you're coming from. At least you can retrace.
When I saw the deal, I was like, no,
step.
I thought he should have, moved back to.
But I'll tell you something. There are so many factors to this transfer.
Definitely.
I have been privileged to, to have a relationship with agents. My brother, football is more than what we see on television. One of the biggest factors could be
money.
The economy, sorry. Because in England, players earn a lot of money.
Yeah.
What he will earn at Wigan might be the same he was earning at Brighton. Despite the fact that it's a step lower. It has to do with negotiation. It has to do with the power of the agent. Leon Balogun changed his agent while he was in Mainz, and that was what led to his move to England. And I'm sure the agent would have convinced him, stay in this environment, you could get back to the EPL. So there are a lot of factors usually.
I think I actually love the fact that he went to Wigan, because if his dream is actually to stay in England, that's what he wants, and he feels his football so why not fight his way back? And I think when he started playing, because I was worried, that's why I was asking, why was he not playing? I was worried because he's, I don't know, people say he's prone to injury and all that.
Yeah, he is.
He is
prone
that's
to
confirmed.
Injury,
so that's another thing. I'm thinking, okay, maybe he was always injured or something. He don't even get listed. That was really terrible.
I think at Brighton the problem wasn't injury.
It wasn't okay.
At the time it was injury.
It was Duncan Duffy.
Exactly. He was competing against two guys who
there was a time
basically have a chemistry.
Partnership.
He couldn't break that partnership.
And they were consistent.
Exactly. So sometimes this happens. Just like when Obafemi went to Wolfsburg.
Yeah.
That was the time they had Graffiti and Dzeko.
Yeah.
So it was hard
and this was Nigeria's biggest striker in Europe. He couldn't break him.
Yeah, that's a good.
That was Wolfsburg.
Spain.
So sometimes the circumstances don't play in the favor of the player.
And Victor Moses moving to Inter Milan, another one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
For me, good one. I just hope. Now, are we going to see him as a left wing back or a right wing back, or as an attacker, or as a winger?
But you know the answer to that already, right? You know the answer.
You have to look at Conte's setup.
Yeah.
So Ashley Young,
Victor Moses,
or he plays top up and. But again, a good one for him. I think he has gone to a place where the manager really wants him.
Believes in him.
And believes in him.
That is the key.
And that's the key. So,
exactly.
And when the rumors were going on, I just knew he's going. He's going.
I'm personally very excited that he moved to Inter Milan. Because when players begin to move to Turkey, it sends a wrong signal.
That's true.
You begin to feel that the career is going down. So, and for, I think that he thought about it. Maybe before going to bed one night, he just said to himself, what am I doing in Turkey?
Precisely.
I don't belong here.
Yeah.
And then he woke up and took a brilliant decision. Going back to Inter Milan says to everyone that I am here, I am still ready for the top flight. Inter is making a big statement, buying everyone, available.
From England.
In fact, Inter is buying players like someone doing grocery shopping. and I think that, like he said, Antonio Conte gave him even his best time at Chelsea. So the reunion would help to rekindle or to revive Victor Moses' career.
Okay, that's it. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we'll take a look at the papers and also spare thought for the FA Cup in England. Join us again. All right, welcome back. Of course, we're on the home stretch. There's a lot to talk about. Guys, let's just quickly talk about the FA Cup, some matches to be played today. Let me just, right here before me, so let me just quickly, Birmingham and Coventry, Cardiff City up against Reading, Derby County against Northampton, Liverpool against Shrewsbury, Oxford against Newcastle. The news had been about Klopp and his insistence on letting those youngsters play.
I think that is a good one. Liverpool is a very strong team with players scattered in every department. We saw how they beat Barcelona in the Champions League with a depleted side. So I think that this is not going to be a problem.
You think so, Daniel?
It's not going to be a problem, but I think the issue here with this fixture is he has been warned not to fill in those youngsters. And Klopp has come out to say that he doesn't care that.
This is what I'm going to do.
But please, Liverpool is not the first team
to do
the Champions League. They are not the first team to win the Club World Cup. So I think he should go with his team.
Respect the competition.
He should respect the competition.
Can I say something?
Not the whole team.
Can I say something?
That is
if you are a Liverpool player, that you were able to sign a contract to play for Liverpool, and you can't compete against Shrewsbury, you have no business playing for
Even
Liverpool.
in the youth squad.
Of course.
Full stop. Let's end it there.
If they could get Taiwo Awoniyi to play in this game, it would not be a problem. Because if he could sign for Liverpool, that means
there must be something
there
about
must be something about what's Shrewsbury.
Okay, Shrewsbury is actually a club in England.